Hi guys, it's Brittany. So, today I'm going to be telling you a paranormal story, experience that happened a long time ago, but it was still scary. And as I know lately, I've been sharing ones that have been a bit scary, but there's just some certain experiences that have been quite scary, and there's just some that haven't, and they've been good ones, like quite positive. But this one itself in particular is also scary, just like the day that I saw that scary face on the wall. This was scary too, although this particular paranormal experience happened, I would say, years before I saw the scary face on the wall that I had shared with you in the other video. So in this one, I shared this one on the podcast, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna share it here in a video for all of you to hear. So when this happened, I was around, I would say, in my early 20s. I would say maybe, what, 23 or 24, around there. Oh, great, there's a bug right on my computer. What do I do? Oh, gosh. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna try to ignore it. I mean, it's quite little, but still, it can be annoying, especially when you have drinks or food around. You don't want them flying around at all. And yes, I'm still drinking tea, but this is a different kind of tea, which I actually quite enjoy. So anyway, back to the story here, since that bug kind of interrupted, distracted me a little bit. So in this story in particular, where, yeah, it was either uh, I would say, yeah, probably 23, 24. And what happened was, I was actually not in my room, and at that time me and my family were living in a two-story house, so it had this long hallway. So right here was my bedroom, over here was like the bathroom, but you get this long hallway, and at the end was the room. But yeah, even right here next to my room was my sister's room. And so yeah, like that, at the end here you get this other room down the hall, but then there's this other part of the hall here, and you get the master bedroom upstairs, and then you get downstairs. But what happened was, I think, because I think my sister had just finished using the bathroom, so she was standing right outside of the bathroom doorway, which was right here, and I'm over here outside of my bedroom door. So we're talking, and I don't know what it is we were talking about, but I think we were just talking about something. I'm not sure what. I think we were talking about either a dream she had, or just like sharing dreams, like a dream she had, I had, or just talking about maybe a movie that she had watched, a movie that I watched. So I'm not sure exactly what the conversation was, but it had to do something either about dreams or about movies we were watching. But at some point, while we were talking, because no one else was at home except us, and we were upstairs, and as we were talking either about dreams or movies, had to be either one, and just when we were talking, and all of a sudden, I didn't just hear this, but we both did. So me and my sister, we both heard this loud but evil laugh, and it came from downstairs, which sounded like it came from the kitchen, and it echoed. It was so loud that it echoed from the kitchen to the hallway, like to the living room and the hallway downstairs. So as soon as we heard it at the same time when we heard it, and when we heard it, when it happened, we both stopped talking and we just froze. We were frozen for a while and we didn't even say anything. And we didn't even move either. And so we were just looking at each other like shocked and scared. And so at that point we were whispering because I think she asked me like, what was that? And then I remember I was like this looking at her. I'm like, I don't know. And well, even though I said I don't know, but I said, uh, it sounded like an evil laugh. And so just when I was telling that to her, whispering it to her, she, had this, scared look on her face, and she was like, yeah, it did. Like, it was loud. I'm like, yeah, it was. It sounded like it echoed right in the kitchen and through the rest of downstairs of the living room. And then she was asking me like, should we go downstairs and check? And I'm like, yeah, I think so. And so we were just walking very quietly. And so we were walking quietly down of this long hallway to going downstairs. And yeah, as we were walking downstairs, we were walking very slowly and quietly because because I don't know, somehow we were just so scared that we thought, okay, let's just be quiet and just walk quietly and slowly downstairs. So by the time we got downstairs, we didn't saw anything, you know, and we were looking, as we went downstairs, we were just looking through all of downstairs, even to the front living room, which was over here, but then over here you get like a little room, which is kind of like a little smaller living room, and over here you get the sliding doors to the patio, and over here you get where it's like the hallway to a bedroom and a bathroom, and over here is the living room and the kitchen. And so as we were making our way downstairs, yeah, we were just looking very closely, carefully, slowly, quietly. And as we walked to the kitchen, we're just like really looking around, taking a good look, and nothing. And we even looked at the TV was off. And so yeah, we looked through the rest of downstairs to the bedroom, the bathroom, to the front living room, and nothing. No one was home. Not my mom, not, not our mom, our stepdad, our older sister. No one else was there. So I'm not sure where they were. I'm pretty sure they were somewhere, but I'm not sure where they were at the time. But they were out somewhere, of course. But we were the only ones home alone, and when this happened, it seemed like this happened only meant for me and my sister to hear, because I don't know if this still would have happened when our mom, stepdad, and older sister would have been home. Now, let's say if it did happen when they were home, I'm not sure if they would have heard it or it still would have been us that would have heard it. But it just seemed like because there was no one else around, that it was just meant for me and my sister to hear it because we were home alone. And so that was scary. And the thing is, I don't know how to describe this evil laugh because it does not sound like something that you would hear from a movie. Okay, You know, like those villains who have an evil laugh? It didn't sound anything like that. Sorry about that. Had to sneeze. Didn't want to sneeze on camera. Nope. So, anyway. But yes, you know how there are just some villains that have that evil laugh, and of course, each villain has their own evil laugh. Well, this didn't sound like anything that I was familiar with. It didn't sound like a Green Goblin laugh, not even a Joker laugh. Oh, even to hear the Joker laugh in a house probably would have been scary too, but no, didn't sound like a Joker laugh. Didn't sound like any other TV or movie fictional villain character of an evil laugh at all. This sounded more scarier than that. It did. This sounded much more. Uh, let's just. The best way to put it, I would say, it sounded very scary. But to me, this seemed. This evil laugh just seemed more sinister. And, ugh. Like I said, I can't describe. Like, it was so loud, it really echoed through the kitchen, probably through the living room, and even down to the hallway as well. It was that loud. And yeah, the way it sounded, not only was it really loud, but like I said, it sounded evil. It sounded like this dark evil laugh. It didn't sound like deep though. It wasn't like a deep evil laugh, but it just sounded like a. It still sounded like an evil laugh, like a. Uh, the best way to put it, I would say maybe like a evil uh, maniac. I don't know. That's the best way to put it because it didn't sound that deep, but it still sounded more. Yeah, it kind of sounded like almost like a high. Uh, like I said, it sounded kind of high in a way, almost like a maniac, but an evil maniac. If that makes sense at all, but that's just what it sounded like. But it was so loud, and it just sounded evil, and it sounded like a crazy evil laugh. I think that's the best way to put it. But oh gosh, like that was the I would say that was the first time I've heard an evil laugh where it wasn't from watching a show or a movie and you hear the villain having their own evil laugh. It was nothing like that. And it was not compared to that at all. This was much more scarier, you know, than that. But yeah, that's the best way I could put it. And I don't think I would be able to really demonstrate that laugh because for one, I would not want to try that at all because I would just freak myself out even if I tried. Not only that, but I am not the kind of person where I would know how to do an evil laugh, especially like that. So no. Yes, this was very scary, but that was the first and last time I ever heard of an evil laugh like that, especially um, spiritually, because like I said, by the time me and my sister got downstairs, the TV was off. And everything, when we got downstairs, everything was quiet because no one else was home because they were out somewhere. I think either shopping or somewhere else. But the thing is, um, yeah, the TV was off and there was no radio. So, of course, there was nothing in the house that could have made such a very loud, very crazy, like maniac, evil laugh like that. There was nothing that could have made that particular laugh like that. So, of course, so knowing that the TV was off and no one else was home, and knowing that nothing else in the house could have made that sound, then yeah, I even had a feeling already that what we heard was nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I just had a feeling that it wasn't the TV, it wasn't anything else that could have sounded like that. No, I had this gut feeling already that it was something dark, evil, and something that was spiritual. And I believe it was at that moment where it presented itself to me and my sister, but in a way to make itself known to us by making this very loud, very maniac, but very evil laugh as well. And it caught our attention because we heard it at the same time when it happened. So yeah, and I remember after hearing it, not only we were both shocked and so scared when it happened, but I had goosebumps. I had chills all over me. And even after that, even when we were still searching downstairs, I was still like a bit, shaken up after that. I was still scared out of my mind because I never heard anything like that, especially when watching either a TV show or a movie. So that really frightened me, and I still had chills because I remember just seeing like goosebumps everywhere, all over my arms, my back. I had chills everywhere. And so, but yeah, like I said, that was the only time I've heard something like that. But my question is, why was it that me and my sister both heard this evil laugh? Now, of course, I do think, like, I don't know if it had to do with maybe where the house was built on. I mean, it could be something of that, or it could be just the fact that maybe there is something wrong with where the house was built on or with the house itself. But it could just be the fact that no matter where we lived and no matter what house we were living in, that it could just be that there was this, dark, evil spirit that presented itself to us for us to hear of this crazy evil laugh. And so that's what I believe. But I don't know if there could be another reason to why we heard it. But I do think, of course, I do believe we heard it because it happened at the moment to present itself in a way because we were home alone and it wanted to scare us. And of course, it did a good job on that because we were scared, you know. I was still scared. I was like a bit shaken up and just like had chills all over. So yeah, it did a good job to scare us like that, like out of our minds, out of our wits. So yeah, and like I said, that was the first and last time I've heard something like that, and I hope and pray that I'll never get to hear an evil laugh again. But I mean, even if it were to happen again, oh my gosh, I would not be prepared for that at all, because when it comes to something scary like that, you are never prepared for when something scary happens, especially if you hear or see something paranormal. But I hope that it never happens again. I really don't. No, that was so scary, and that was a very scary, very terrifying experience to hear something like that. And of course, even okay, oh, let's see, that was years ago, but still, I still remembered how it sounded. It sounded like I said, crazy, but very evil laugh, and it was so loud. The thing is, it was so loud that I don't believe that even a human, I don't think a human being could even uh, laugh like that, even that loud to that extent, or even to make it sound the way that it did. So yeah, no, I don't think it's humanly possible for a human being to sound like that. Oh, and the thing is too is that when I heard this laugh, it didn't sound like a woman. It sounded like a man. So it sounded like this maniac, but very evil man. So it's the like I said, the laugh itself sounded like much like a man's laugh, but at the same time, I know it wasn't human. It was something else. It only sounded like it was a man, but just sounded very loud and crazy and evil. But it didn't sound deep either, but it was more like high. So yeah, that's the best way to put it. But yeah, like I said, after that, never experienced or heard anything like that again. And I hope it never does, because I would just be terrified if it ever happened again. But nope, I pray that it doesn't happen. No. No way. Okay, so I know this is going on for a little long, but I hope you guys don't mind. But yeah, after that, and I just want to say real quick too is that even after hearing that, and when we were downstairs looking through the kitchen, the living room, even the front living room, and checked the bathroom downstairs and the bedroom downstairs, it was pretty much really quiet. Everything seemed okay and calm, but it was only the sound and the laugh that we heard that just made it feel very uneasy. And yeah, so I remember even when we were searching downstairs, and since everything was fine and everything, but even just being downstairs right after when that happened, I was feeling uneasy, and I thought, okay, I do not want to be downstairs right now. And to me, I felt like, you know what? I think I'd rather be in my room, because I think I would feel a bit more safe to be in my room than to be downstairs, knowing we just heard it, and it was so loud, and it echoed from the kitchen to the hallway, this long hallway downstairs. So yeah, so I remember after that we did not stick around, because yeah, we immediately went up, back upstairs. So after that, we were just talking about what happened and everything. So we were still very scared. And so after that, my sister went to her room, I think, to calm herself down, and I did the same thing. I went back to my room, and so yeah, that's what happened. That I pretty much did the same thing where I went back to my room because I needed to calm down after what happened. So I think after that I watched TV. I'm not sure if I can't remember what it was that I was watching, but I remember after that I was like, okay, I know you're still in shock of what happened and still very scared, and you still have chills all over, but just try to do something to distract you, do something to try to take your mind off of it, and just to get distracted. So I did, but I'm not sure what it was that I did. But yeah, so that was the only time that had happened. So yeah. And honestly, I just want to say this, that I'm surprised that I never heard anything like that when I was living at the childhood home that I grew up in, because I could have very well heard and seen something, but as I mentioned before, I never saw or heard anything at that house that I grew up in, only because my mom had the house cleansed, and so I do believe it had put a block on it. I believe there was this spiritual block in that house where I didn't really saw or heard anything, but just feeling this uneasy presence around me, but feeling it all the time, every day. It was just so negative, and it was just so uneasy, and I didn't like it. But like I said, it wasn't until when we moved out of there, then yeah, then I started to really experience things that I didn't know that I would be able to see and hear. But when I was able to really experience those things and realize that I had this gift, yeah, of course I wasn't scared. I wasn't like, wait, why? Why is it that I can see this or that? No, it was more like, okay, I know now that I have this gift, and because of that, I want to learn more about it. And of course, the more I was learning about it, I would say the more, of course, my mind was very open to it. And of course, it still is. But yes, I'm very open minded. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you guys have experienced anything like that, maybe if you guys have ever experienced anything like that, even if hearing the evil laugh, comment down below if you have, or if you heard something that was scary. So let me know. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. So yeah, and so for more movie content and for this as well, for more paranormal stories, experiences, and yeah, even for more movie content, reactions, and dreams, subscribe and click on the bell so you'll be notified when I upload. That's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.